What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, everybody. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I am a little bit in a different position here. If the mic or the camera is different, it's just because I'm in the middle of a move. So, don't mind that. Everything will be back to normal tomorrow, or hopefully it will be. We're at $2.43 right now, $2.43 right now. On the week, we've seen a low of $1.78, just below $1.79 there. Looking at the daily time frame, we do keep moving lower, but I'm not under the opinion that we go lower than this low here. I think that was it. Looking at the daily RSI, you are in the areas. I think you found your low. I think yesterday was your low. We were looking for this. This is what we were looking for, right? Was this little tip. We were assuming it could have been this, but looking back at how XRP likes to bottom, something in the oversold zone, something just in it like that would make more sense, right? And of course, you could go lower. Of course you could. But if we get today to close green, I think that would cement, and maybe not cement, but it would strongly suggest that yesterday was the low, or the low close, I should say, at about $2.38 there, which could mean that you're moving up. Maybe not immediately, but if you start moving up, you bottom out in your RSI, you generally do start to move up in the price in the preceding days. On the daily time frame too, that's a pretty significant time frame. That could be good for weeks, even like a month or so to come. You're in this downtrend in the RSI with that was not a very well connected high. Lower highs here, lower lows here, downtrend in the RSI. Something like this, you could build up, getting to your overbought zone. Hopefully you break the downtrend. Hopefully you do get into the overbought zone and not reject it. But something I think we should pay attention to going forward, and I'll see if I can remember this. I doubt I can, so maybe this is on you guys to remember, okay? But if we are in a downtrend right now in the RSI, this move up would be anticipated, but it would also be anticipated that we find resistance at the overbought zone. And it might not happen like that. Maybe it takes more time. But still, we would likely find resistance at the overbought zone. And if we do, that could imply that we see some kind of resistance here, and then we go lower, still lower than this low. For XRP, you guys, if we did something like that, that would really make a dud of February, I think, for XRP. So hopefully we don't see that. What I'm getting to, I think, what we've just kind of gone over there, is that you want to see something that suggests you will see immediate highs, immediate new relative highs, okay? You're at $2.43 now. To suggest that, at least on a fib perspective, you would need a couple of things, all right? First, to suggest that you need to get back above your golden ratio. You need to get at $2.66 or above. You guys hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all for being here, by the way. I forget if I said that in the beginning, but never hurts to say it again, right? Got to show the channel a little bit here. You close above that golden ratio, I think that really does cement that you're moving higher. Probably in a very short amount of time as well, but it's not everything. What you really want to see is closing above the 886. You get above $3.15.9. That's how you know it's game time. It's on for the $4 price and beyond. If you find resistance at 315, 316, 296, whatever, if you find resistance in the zone and then break back below your golden ratio, that would be rather suggestive that you've got lower to go. We might even go back down to $2 or even prices below $2. And again, something like that, likely what we're seeing in the daily RSI right now, suggests we move up if we get a close green today, and we'll go on the shorter term time frames to kind of validate that and see if that's the case or not. But if we close green today, based on the trend in the RSI, we would expect to find resistance in this zone up here. And if we were to find resistance in this zone, that's okay. But if we break back below the golden ratio, that would suggest that we are firmly entrenched in this daily downtrend. We would likely see lower prices than we are now. And again, it would take time to do this, so that would make February rather disappointing. So hopefully we don't do that. We want to get above $3.16, I think, is the key area to kind of watch for. And then as of right now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to close below about $2.08. That's what you don't want to do. If you do, it doesn't mean XRP is dead. It's just, if you want to grow in the relatively short time frame here, this month of February, you'd probably not want to close below $2.08. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, let's see if we can validate that you are moving up from here. See if we've got any kind of looks that suggest that. Looking at the 4-hour, you're nice and entrenched in a 4-hour downtrend as well. Wow, that thing is, it's kind of massive of a downtrend for the 4-hour, right? You've been in this since November? What? That's crazy. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, yeah. You're in this massive downtrend in the 4-hour, man. See, stuff like this is nice. It's just kind of short-lived, but whenever you have this stuff that sometimes it takes you a while to find out that you're even in it, right? Like that's why you've been consolidating this whole time. That's why you haven't gone anywhere. So this is cool. This is actually really cool. You guys, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you have access to TradingView, and you all do, actually, it's free, right? Unless you use the premium, but whatever. If you click on your indicators here, you type in REL, R-E-L, Relative Strength Index, that's what you want. If you put your setting at a 10, mine's at a 10, you go to the 4-hour time frame. You probably don't even need a 10 either, right? If it's at 14, you probably get the same look. It's just different readings, right? You still get the downtrend. It's still there. It's just not the exact same. But I put mine on a 10. What I'm trying to get to here is whenever you break the downtrend in this RSI will likely be when you're moving on to new all-time highs. That, I think, will be a very key signal because this is what's prevented you from growing. I'm actually really glad we found this because this is going to be, I think, a kind of secret indicator, the secret sauce, man. Essentially, any kind of 4-hour reading above the 80 would do it. But I want to get those lines back on there. Something that would be more best fit. I just want to get this so I can kind of determine this with the price as well. Not drawing it perfect, just kind of lines of best fit and making it parallel here. Okay, so if you get back above the 60 on the 4-hour, that would do it consistently. I think if you can live above the 60 on the 4-hour, that would do it. And to see that in price from where you are now, you'd probably only have to get back above like 280, 275. And what is that relative to this fib here, high to low? What do we got? Come on now. Yeah, that would do it. Clear your golden ratio. 280, 275, that's your golden rate. You would clear that zone, clear these highs, get your RSI out of this downtrend potentially, and that could signal that you are moving up higher. What you'd want to see, of course, next after that is closing above $3.16. Closing above $3.16 doesn't necessarily mean you have to go to these levels, but getting above your 886, closing above your 886, it does suggest higher prices in a very short amount of time, oftentimes in these extended areas. So interesting, definitely interesting stuff. I want to get back to the RSI real quick and just see if it suggests you might go lower first. I would think it does. I would think it does suggest you go lower first. So let's see what that would mean. Yeah, okay, you probably go down. You're at $2.44 now. I bet you go down to about $2.28. I don't suspect you go too much lower than that. Not too much lower at all. At the low is $2.08, but I think 228 is a good area to find support. I bet you find support right around 228, quite like literally. If not, you've already done it here, and then you move up. So probably today, ooh, that would make today red though, wouldn't it? Today could be red. You got 19 hours left. What if, in the next 12 hours you went down, and then the last 4-hour candle you came back up and you closed neutral / slightly red. The next day you could close green and you'd still get a bounce that looks basically like this. I'm not worried about it. I think today could be red. If not, it's green, and that would be great for what I was saying originally. But if it's red, it's not a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal at all. And I would suspect that soon, either today or tomorrow, you will start seeing this thing up at higher prices, probably above 280. I wouldn't bet on it being today. As much as finding your low and starting to move up today, sure, but getting above $2.80, potentially even getting back above $3, that might be saved for tomorrow and going into the end of the week. So I hope that all makes sense. I hope you guys liked the video. I don't think I have anything else that I want to say. We can go over some midterm targets here real quick. I very much still do expect that XRP is on its way to targets that are anywhere from $6.40 to $11, maybe even higher than that. We take a high to a low of the last cycle's high to the bear cycle low that we had. What we're doing now, by the way, it's very, very bullish. This is an insanely bullish consolidation phase right here in between the 1272 and the 100 level. Whenever you stop at the 1272, and you don't interact with the 886, or you don't go lower than the 100, and I get it, yeah, you wicked a little bit below it, but you didn't close below it. I'm saying you're finding support there. That's what it looks like to me. This is bullish, man. To me, this target would be the minimum target. this would be your possible, very possible target, right? Minimum target, very possible target. And then beyond all of that, you know, if you were to kind of use this as a bull flag, maybe it's a bull flag, maybe it's not. Some people will tell you that bull flags can't be sloped upwards, but they can be. I guess it's actually a broadening top. To be completely fair, this is a broadening top pattern, not a bull flag. And if it is a broadening top, this wouldn't even matter then. I'm not going to measure it. But the measure move itself would take you, if it were a bull flag, it would take you all the way up to this zone here as well. So something between 641, 1071, at the highest $13 by the end of March is what I'm thinking, right? We were thinking end of February for a long time here, but I think this move is going to kick off in February. I just think it'll be over in March. Does that make sense? And when I say over, I just mean same thing as like this move here was over in December. Same thing as this move here was over in January, right? It's just the next move. It doesn't mean the cycle's over. We've got a lot longer for that. Anyways, guys, I think I've said enough. If this is a broadening top pattern, which it kind of looks like, these are very rare patterns, you guys, by the way. It takes very rare volatile circumstances to get descending lows and ascending highs. Broadening tops, they normally, here's a little fun fact. I'll end the video with a fun fact for you guys, okay? With broadening tops, they normally have 5 touch points. And then after the 5th one, they break out. And it might not even be touch points. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But from the beginning, it's like this. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, okay? If 5 takes you all the way down here, you'll likely break out, okay? But if 5 does this thing, which broadening tops are very, very known, like they're very commonly known for this, which is called a partial decline. A partial decline is this, where you reach for this line. It's you're rejecting this line. So if you're going off the trend of this range, it would suggest that you go down to this area here. But instead of hitting it, it's like you reach for it, but you find support above it. They call that a partial decline because you did not fully decline, right? Inverse to that, you don't want to see a partial incline or a partial rise where you reach for this area, but then you miss it. That would actually be very bad as well. But you oftentimes see those partial declines, partial rises on that 5th leg, right? It tends to be that forewarning. So what this would suggest then, in a very kind of pinpoint accurate fashion, would be then that maybe by the end of February, we are at new all-time highs at about 360 to 390. And then we pull back to start March. And then we break out sometime in the beginning of March, middle of March, seeing those targets at 641 and above. That would make sense to me. We'll see. Time will tell. Little fun fact with the broadening wedge there, though, for any aspiring technical analysts out there. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.